Hi guys, this is Vysh from Vysh IAS. So this is the Satish Chandra lecture series which we had uploaded one video as of now, I think 1 month back, okay. And after that I was busy with the test series creation and designing and all. So yesterday we launched it. We launched the mains full test series which will be suited for 2019 students, okay, 2019-20 or any future year, okay, who is going to start mains answer writing, okay. It has to be done. Everybody who is into UPSC has to write answers. So we have designed the most affordable and the most detailed test series which can be found anywhere in this country, okay. You can get test series from any institute, okay, any city you are living or wherever you are, you will get test series, but it has to complete the entire syllabus. It has to cover everything and it should be detailed and it should stay consistent with time, okay. So we have designed a 5 months course, a 5 months thing which was elaborately discussed yesterday. 1 or 2 more videos explaining the same thing with showing sample answers and all will upload soon. So that is there. So today this video is not about that. This video is about the medieval series lecture, okay. So Satish Chandra, you know, many students have been requesting us and that is why this was started, and now hopefully we'll complete it soon, okay. And chapter 1, first video was about chapter 1. It's like 1.1. We discussed only about Timur and Babur and the establishment of Mughal dynasty, okay. That was what we discussed in the first particular video of Satish Chandra. Now this second one will be Humayun, okay, and one more part will be there which will be dealing with Sher Shah, okay. Why I am taking in different parts is because else the video will be like 1 hour, 1.5 hour video, so that will like not be interesting to watch also, because it's pure history, political history where kings are coming, battles are fought, okay, because rarely 1 or 2 questions will come in prelims, but for history optional students it is very important, okay. They can directly ask the contribution of Humayun, the contribution of Sher Shah, okay, and this textbook is the best source for that, okay. You don't need to buy any big textbooks or any great online articles, nothing is needed, okay. If you do this thing, you can write about any of these kings, okay, if UPSC asks a question, okay. So I'll do it as usual from the textbook itself, not like a PPT or something. So we discussed till here, okay. We discussed till Humayun's conquest of this thing, Gujarat, and the tussle with Sher Shah, okay. Up till here we discussed, okay, which was Babur. Now we'll continue here. So I'll be reading it. It's like a story. You just need to understand, okay. Some characters will be there, some places will be there, some battles will be there. So just understand that full story, okay. Let me reduce this size 1 second. Okay. So Humayun's conquest of Gujarat and his tussle with Sher Shah. Okay, in Gujarat there was a ruler actually called Bahadur Shah also. So that he'll also be a prominent character in the story. Okay, so Humayun succeeded Babur in December 1530 at the young age of 23. Okay, you know, like 1526 Babur came into power by defeating Ibrahim Lodi in Battle of Panipat, the first Battle of Panipat, and after that in 4 years Babur will die and his son Humayun will come into power. Okay, so Humayun, he had to grapple with a number of problems, okay. So this actually can be a UPSC question like his accession to throne, or what were the challenges, that kind of question. If it is asked, this following 2-3 pages is what you need to write, okay. So he had a number of problems left behind by Babur. The administration had not yet been consolidated and the finances were precarious, okay. So it is just the beginning of a Mughal empire, okay. It's like that time Mughals were just one of the kingdom of the Delhi Sultanate, okay. It did not reach that glory of that Mughal kingdom which we know right now, okay. So just the beginning. The Afghans had not been subdued and were nursing the hope of expelling the Mughals from the India, okay. This Afghans is actually where Sher Shah Suri will come later on. Actually they were concentrating on the eastern side of India, okay, that time, the Bihar, Uttar Pradesh region, that time they were concentrating there, okay. So meanwhile in Delhi, Agra region, Mughals were trying to emerge. Finally, there was a Timurid legacy of partitioning the empire among all the brothers, okay. So in Timur dynasty or legacy, they have this concept of partitioning the empire, okay. Like if it cannot be managed, or if there are 4-5 sons of a particular ruler, it will simply divide it, okay, and it will be like partition. So then they cannot have a stronghold or a strong kingdom. So Babur and Humayun, they did not do it actually, okay. Actually he assigned Humayun to deal with it, okay, because they were not favored of this partition concept, because they don't want Mughal empire to get disintegrated, okay. So here the story is about Humayun and his brother, I think Kamran or something, okay, here younger brother Kamran, who was actually allocated the duty of this Afghan region, okay, the western side of India, that is the Kandahar region, or this regions near Hindu Kush mountains, okay. These things and all in your geography and all match the following questions can come, okay. Don't think just because it's a history textbook you have to concentrate only on history perspective. UPSC can ask match the following, like Hindu Kush is where, Kandahar is where, okay, and a lot of other things are there, Sulaiman, Kirtar ranges in Pakistan and all. So like that, so Kamran is there in the western side, but he was actually not satisfied, okay, not satisfied with this region, because it was like poverty-stricken areas. There is no wealth or something, because like eastern side, you know, Bengal and all, it's like precious metals and all those things are there, okay. The eastern side, Chota Nagpur, Plateau, all those places, but western side it was like a barren land. So he was not happy. So he marched on to Lahore and Multan. So he comes little more eastwards, that's Pakistan side, okay, Kamran, and occupied them. And Humayun was actually busy that time, okay. He did not want to start a fight with his brother, so he agreed it, okay. And so Kamran like accepted like Humayun is the the greatest ruler or something, who is in the central Delhi region, but he will be in control of the western Pakistan and Afghanistan region. So that is how the story of this brother proceeds. Then granting of Punjab and Multan to Kamran had an advantage that Humayun was free to devote his attention to the eastern parts. Okay, so now because Kamran will take care of everything in the western side, okay, he don't have to focus there, Humayun. So he now devoted his attention towards eastern side, which I told, which is the region where Afghans were growing in power. Okay, Bihar region. Now, apart from these, Humayun's had to deal with the rapid growth of power of the Afghans in the east, and then the growing sweep of conquest of Bahadur Shah. Okay, Bahadur Shah is actually, as I told, Gujarat. So western side his rival kind of person is Bahadur Shah, and eastern side it will be Sher Shah, which will come later. Okay, so Humayun was inclined to consider the Afghan danger to be the more serious of the two. So among both these two, like Bahadur Shah and Sher Shah or the Afghan, he considered Afghan danger to be more. Okay, because he considered him to be more powerful. In 1532, a place called Daura. Okay, so this Daura and all history optional students you should know, because map based questions comes. Okay, there he defeated the Afghan forces which had conquered Bihar and overrun Jaunpur. Okay, Jaunpur is the place where Sher Shah will come. Okay, in eastern Uttar Pradesh. After this success, Humayun besieged Chunar. Okay, Chunar one I think fort is there. Okay, this powerful fort commanded the land and the river route between Agra and the east, and was known as the gateway of eastern India. So this is also again prelims. If they want to make it even tougher, they can put this also. Okay, one particular place is called as the gateway of eastern India. Okay, that is Chunar. Okay, Chunar fort in the eastern side of India. Okay, there, that is one location you have to remember. Okay, Chunar and Daura. It had recently come in the possession of an Afghan Sardar, Sher Khan. Okay, so Sher Khan, his actual name is something else. Okay, we will learn later in the next video maybe about detail about Sher Khan. Something I think Farid or something his name, and then he killed the tiger and it was called Sher Khan. Later he will start the Sur Empire, and then he will be called the Sher Shah Suri. Okay, so different names are there. So he became the most powerful of the Afghan Sardars. Okay, in the eastern side. After the siege of Chunar, okay, Humayun actually captured it, had gone on for 4 months. Sher Khan persuaded Humayun to allow him. Okay, so Sher Khan is now asking like, can we take possession of this thing? Like his brother was given, right? The Kamran was given western side. Like Sher Khan is now asking like, we'll pay you some tribute or something yearly or monthly or something. So can we retain possessions of this fort? Okay, and return he promised the loyalty. Okay, to Mughals. Okay, and even Sher Shah will send one of his son to Humayun as hostage. Okay, so Humayun will accepts the offer. He becomes anxious to return Agra. Okay, because he had other problems also. So he thought, okay, we'll agree to that and we'll get some tribute from these people, but overall power will be with us only. Okay. Then now this is Bahadur Shah. Okay, Bahadur Shah of Gujarat, and his activities in the area bordering Agra had alarmed him. Okay, because western side they were emerging. He was not prepared to continue the siege of Chunar under the command of a noble, since that would have meant dividing his forces. Okay, so that is why he agreed. He did not want to keep his army men or someone in the eastern side, because he needed them in the west to defeat Bahadur Shah. Now I think rest of the story is about Bahadur Shah. Okay, Bahadur Shah was was of almost the same age as Humayun, was an able and ambitious ruler. Ascending the throne in 1526, he had overrun and conquered Malwa. He then turned to Rajasthan and besieged Chittor, and soon reduced the Rajput defenders to sore straits. So Bahadur Shah is proceeding in the western side, this Malwa region and all, and he, see the timeline, he also came into power in 1526. That is from the time of Babur. When Babur came to Delhi, Bahadur Shah is there in Gujarat. Okay, so he is now moving towards the Rajasthan area. Okay, where this Rajputs are there. So there he proceeded, and according to some later legends, okay, this you have to remember, Rani Karnavati, the widow of Rana Sanga. Rana Sanga actually was there in a battle with Babur. Okay, that I explained in the previous video. If you did not watch that, please watch that, because this timeline is very, very important. UPSC plays with timeline. Okay, you should know who came after who. So she actually sent a Rakhi to Humayun seeking his help, and Humayun gallantly responded. So this is a story which is not like, it's not fully accepted, means there is no proof and all, but in some written record somewhere it is mentioned. Okay, some historians have told this kind of story. Okay, then okay, it is true that from Agra, Humayun moved to Gwalior to watch the situation. Okay, so Humayun was not directly involving in it, but he was aware of all these things which is happening there. Okay, like Bahadur Shah is moving towards Rajasthan and all. Due to the fear of Mughal intervention, Bahadur Shah patched up a treaty with Rana, leaving the fort in his hands after extracting a large indemnity in cash and kind. So he was afraid like Humayun is more powerful and he can come and attack or he can interfere. So he agreed with the treaty. Okay, that's what they do, or treaty concept. Okay, so had a treaty and got some cash and in kind and a lot of favors, and then he left it. Okay, so again Rajasthan was under Rajputs only. So during the next year and a half, Humayun spent his time in building a new city near Delhi. Do you know the name? It is actually asked in UPSC. Okay, you should know the name of what is the city which Humayun built. Okay, Delhi is actually a combination of many cities, okay, which was built during the Delhi Sultanate time. Okay, so this actually the name is Dimpana. Okay, here if you see Dimpana. So like that, Alauddin Khilji time also there was like think Siri city or something. Then Firoz Shah Tughlaq built something. So all these people built different cities, and that is how now the present Delhi is there. Okay, I think one more place will come. I forgot. We'll see in the same chapter. 2-3 names are there. The Purana Kila and all those places. Okay, which Sher Shah will be building. So he organized many grand feasts and festivities during the period. Humayun has been blamed for wasting valuable time in these activities, while Sher Khan was steadily augmenting his power. Okay, so these are like reasons for the defeat of Humayun and the emergence of Sher Shah. Okay, Humayun was not only focused on political activities, but he was engaged in these kind of grand feast and celebration and all those things. And meanwhile, Sher Khan was like an able administrator, military general kind of person who is like busy expanding his areas. Okay. It has also been said that Humayun's inactivity was due to the habit of taking opium. Okay, neither of these charges have much substance. Okay, again not much proof, but it's considered like he takes opium. Okay, which has that drug effect. Okay, so Babur continued to use opium after he gave up wine. So Babur also they are telling opium. But one thing you should notice here, here one statement: neither Babur nor Humayun was an opium addict. Okay, so any student, if he simply reads this one line or something and stops or just leaves Sharma, and in UPSC exam will come like the question will come like Humayun and Babur were opium addict. Okay, immediately you will mark it as true because you read this one line, but you did not read this second line which is following, which is telling like neither of them were an addict. It's just like there is some mention that they used it. Okay, maybe they used it, not like regularly, or it's not an addict at all. So that is why you should read one chapter holistically, not like simply glance through it. Okay, and that is the main reason I am showing you the actual textbook also. If you make PPT, that's what most institutes are doing. Okay, YouTube channels, if you see, they're making simply 5-6 bullet points and telling you. That way if you do, many important factual things are being missed, but in my lectures nothing will be missed because you are seeing the actual content. If you are not able to follow the speed which I am doing or something, you can even pause it and read through the whole textbook. Okay, wherever you want you can pause it and read and confirm that okay, this is what is my understanding. Okay, so that is why please focus each and every line. Now, the building of Deenpana was meant to impress friends and foes alike. Okay, foes means enemies. It could also serve as a second capital in case Agra was threatened by Bahadur Shah, who in the meantime had conquered Ajmer and overrun eastern Rajasthan. So everyone are proceeding. Okay, Sher Shah is proceeding in the east, Bahadur Shah is proceeding in the west, and then story of Humayun and Deenpana is also going. Okay, so 3 things we are learning parallelly. Okay, UPSC can ask any angle of it. Bahadur Shah offered a still greater challenge to Humayun. Not content with harboring the relations of Ibrahim Lodi at his court, he openly welcomed some close relations of Humayun who had escaped from prison. Okay, so Bahadur Shah now is looking for allies, okay, who can help him. So he is not looking for Ibrahim Lodi. Instead, he is looking for people who escaped from the Mughal prisons and all. So such people, he is trying to use for that, so that a full rebellion can be started. Now finally, Bahadur Shah again invested Chittor. Okay, Chittor again in Rajasthan region. Okay, simultaneously he supplied arms and men to Tatar Khan, one more name, okay, a cousin of Ibrahim Lodi. You don't need to know by heart and all, but story, to understand the story, because this name will again come repeatedly. So that is why when you see a name, you should understand there itself like who is that person. Okay, so it is like some cousin of Ibrahim Lodi. Okay, so to invade Agra with a force of 40,000, while diversions were to be made in the north and the east. So like this, people are getting involved. Okay, Humayun easily defeated the challenge posed by Tatar Khan. The Afghan forces melted away at the approach of the Mughals. Tatar Khan's small force was defeated and he himself was killed. Okay, so his role is over. Just like one military general, someone came, helped, and then gone. Determined to end the threat from Bahadur Shah's side once for all, Humayun now invaded Malwa. Okay, so Malwa is there in the Gujarat region. So that is where Humayun concentrated. He marched forward slowly and cautiously and occupied a position midway between Chittor and Mandu. Okay, one more place, Chittor and Mandu. He thus cut off Bahadur Shah from Malwa. Bahadur Shah quickly compelled Chittor to capitulate, largely due to his fine artillery, which was commanded by an Ottoman master gunner, Rumi Khan. Okay, one master gunner was there in that. So just understand there is someone like this. So not very important. Okay, it has been said that Humayun refused to help Chittor due to religious considerations. Okay, you know, like Rajasthan, it's like Hindu religion and Mughals are Muslim. Okay, so that are also considered. Okay, it's the secular concept will start only once Akbar will come into power. Okay, or else at least Sher Shah will come, because Sher Shah is also one person who considered like India is a region of both Hindus and Muslims. That's actually one statement in one of the mock test. Okay, who is the first ruler who considered India as a land of both Hindus and Muslims? That is Sher Shah Suri. Okay, but Akbar is the one who will start that religion concept of global universal religion kind of thing. But during this time, it is still like Hindu-Muslim problems are there. Now, however, Mewar was at that time passing through an internal crisis, and from Humayun's point of view, its military value as an ally was limited. So here, They're telling the reasons why Humayun did not interfere. One is this Hindu-Muslim problem, and another this region which Mewar or their army and all. Even if we go and support them, we are not going to get anything in return. Like these are not having very great military value and all, which will be helpful us. Okay, helpful for us. So it's not a great ally. So that's why Humayun was just observing it and did not interfere directly. So in the struggle which followed, Humayun showed considerable military skill and remarkable personal valor. Bahadur Shah did not dare face the Mughals. He abandoned his fortified camp and fled to Mandu. Okay, after spiking his guns but leaving behind all the rich equipage. So he left the place. Okay, Bahadur Shah, seeing the Humayun's strength or some Humayun military skills or whichever was like considered powerful. Even though Humayun did not interfere directly and all, they knew or they were aware of the strength of the Mughals. Okay. So a lot of things were left behind and which Humayun could capture. So Humayun was hot on his heels. So this kind of words, right, hot on his heels. This is what in your English paper it will come. Okay, the paper B which you have to write. Okay, compulsory paper 300 mark. They'll give you 5 phrases like this. Okay, and tell you like form sentences. It is there. It's a repeated thing which comes every year. They'll simply ask like, okay, hot on his heels, make a sentence. So you should know this is like something like acting quickly. Okay, he's just when something opportunity is there, he is acting on it quickly and he is moving towards it. So that is called hot on his heels. Okay, so these kind of phrases, this is the only thing you need to learn. Simply read good textbooks. No need to go and research any English paper or something for those exams. Okay, that kind of papers. He scaled the fortress of Mandu with a small party, being the fifth man to enter. Bahadur Shah fled from Mandu to Champaner, then to Ahmedabad, and finally to Kathiawar. Okay, here I don't think Champaner is that Bihar region. It is somewhere in the west only, Gujarat region only. So it's just telling Bahadur Shah is like fleeing from places to place. Okay, it's Mandu, Champaner, Ahmedabad, and finally to Kathiawar, all in Gujarat region. Thus, the rich provinces of Malwa and Gujarat, as well as the large treasure hoarded by the Gujarat rulers at Mandu and Champaner, fell into hands of Humayun. So whole thing is like Bahadur Shah is like fleeing from place to place and Humayun is capturing place after place. Okay, this Mandu or what is this, Malwa. Okay, these kind of places. So both Gujarat and Malwa were lost as quickly as they had gained. After the victory, Humayun placed Gujarat under the command of his younger brother Askari. Okay, some other new name. Okay, we saw that Kamran and now it is Askari. And then retired to Mandu, which was centrally located and enjoyed a fine climate. The major problem was the deep attachment of the people to the Gujarati rule. Askari was inexperienced and the Mughal nobles were mutually divided. A series of popular uprisings, the military actions by Bahadur Shah nobles and the rapid revival of Bahadur Shah's power and unnerved Askari. Okay, so they are telling like these people came back and Askari was not that great who could defend it. Okay, he fell back upon Champaner but received no help from the commander of the fort who doubted his intentions. Unwilling to face Humayun at Mandu, he decided to return to Agra. This immediately raised the fear that he might try to displace Humayun from Agra or attempt to carve out a separate empire for himself. So now it is like between the brothers, okay, this Humayun and Askari. The Askari could not defend that place also and he could not face Humayun also because of that, and there was a fear like Askari will now turn rebellion against Humayun itself, okay, because he could not work under Humayun or work as per Humayun's whatever was assigned to him. So that was one fear. So he overtook Askari in Rajasthan. The two brothers were reconciled and returned to Agra. Meanwhile, both Gujarat and Malwa were lost. So in between this brothers fight, whatever is happening, now these places which Humayun captured, now again lost. Okay, it's gone away. Now, so this whole thing which you are studying is about this Gujarat region only. Okay, the Gujarat campaign was not a complete failure, while it did not add to the Mughal territories. It destroyed forever the threat posed to Mughals by Bahadur Shah. Okay, so Bahadur Shah is simply running around the place, and then problems happen between brothers, and then places like gaining, losing, or that kind of to and fro it is happening, and it's not adding to territories or military strength or anything. It's just that this Bahadur Shah was kept away. Okay, that is the only gain. Now Humayun was now in a position to concentrate all his resources in the struggle against Sher Khan and the Afghans. Okay, so because Bahadur Shah is done away, now he can concentrate fully on the east. The death of Bahadur Shah in a scuffle with the Portuguese on board one of their ships ended whatever danger remained from the side of Gujarat. So you know the timeline. Okay, Portuguese, when did they come? 1490s. That time Vasco da Gama will come, and then the Governor General. See my spectrum. Okay, chapter number 2. See spectrum. There every Governor General one by one, when they captured Goa, when they captured Bahmani Kingdom, all those things are there. Okay, so it's in the 15th, 16th century. Okay, so that time whatever is happening, because of that Bahadur Shah will die in one of the incidents. So that is why Humayun could concentrate fully on the east. Okay, hope this full story is clear now. What happened to Gujarat. Now, during Humayun's absence from Agra, this time, okay, February 1535 to 1537, Sher Khan had further strengthened his position. He had made himself the unquestioned master of Bihar. The Afghans from far and near had rallied around him. Though he continued to profess loyalty to the Mughals, he systematically planned to expel the Mughals from India. So, Sher Shah is not like Bahadur Shah, okay, he had a more definite plan, you can tell. He was in close touch with Bahadur Shah, who had helped him with heavy subsidies. These resources enabled him to recruit and maintain a large and efficient army, which included 1,200 elephants. Shortly after Humayun's return to Agra, he had used this army to defeat the Bengal king and compelled him to pay an indemnity of this many, okay, whatever lakhs of dinars. Okay, dinar is gold coin. So this kind of term only you need to remember. Dinar is gold coin. This who killed whom or whatever. That is just to understand the story and also for history optional students. Okay, prelims perspective, we just need to know these terms or the chronology of who came after whom. After equipping a new army, Humayun marched against Sher Khan and besieged Chunar towards the end of the year. Humayun felt it would be dangerous to leave such a powerful fort behind, threatening his line of communications. Okay. However, the fort was strongly defended by the Afghans, despite the best efforts by Master Gunner, that Rumi Khan, which we saw. Okay, now this gunner is with Humayun. Okay, it took 6 months for Humayun to capture it. Okay, so this is about the beginning of struggle between Humayun and Sher Khan. Okay, later detailed battle will come, that is more important, but this is how it began. Now, in the meanwhile, Sher Khan captured by treachery the powerful fort of Rohtas, where he could leave his family in safety. So, some fort of the Rohtas. Okay, this actually Sher Khan captured in treachery. Okay, meaning a trickery, or by tricking he got hold of this, where he could leave his family. He then invaded Bengal for a second time and captured Gaur. Okay, its capital. So that region, that time Gaur is the capital. Okay, so that is how he expanded. Sher Khan expanded the eastern side. The Sher Khan completely outmaneuvered Humayun. Humayun should have realized that he was in no position to offer a military challenge to Sher Khan without more careful preparations. However, he was unable to grasp the political and military situations facing him. After his victory over Gaur, Sher Khan made an offer to Humayun that he could surrender Bihar and pay an annual tribute of 10 lakh of dinars if he was allowed to retain Bengal. So again, Sher Khan is doing that trick which he is doing. Okay, let us retain this place. Okay, no need to fight. We kind of a treaty. Okay, but we'll give you 10 lakh of dinar every year. Okay, annual tribute. So, but here it's not clear how far Sher Khan was sincere in making this offer. Okay, he promised it, but not sure like what was his intention. And Humayun was not prepared to leave Bengal. Okay, Bengal is like not like any other fort or what was that some other fort we discussed right on top. Okay, Chunar I think. So that fort and all he left it, like you can take and pay us in tribute. But Bengal, Humayun was not ready to give it. Okay, because of the foreign trade, gold, riches, manufactures, all those things. Bengal, you will know later in British times also Bengal is a very important place. So that is why Humayun was not ready to give that to them. Okay. Moreover, the king of Bengal, who had reached Humayun's camp in a wounded condition, urged that resistance to Sher Khan was still continuing. So the king who was there in Bengal that time, he was also in Humayun's camp and telling about Sher Khan's atrocities. All these factors led Humayun to reject Sher Khan's offer and decide upon a campaign to Bengal. Okay, so this is how Humayun's campaign to Bengal will begin. Soon after the Bengal king succumbed to his wounds, okay, so he will die, the king will die. Humayun had thus to undertake the campaign to Bengal all alone. So, okay, so he is not having any other allies. Okay, the king is gone. Humayun's march to Bengal was purposeless and was the prelude to the disaster which overtook his army at Chausa almost years later. Okay, this Chausa, Battle of Chausa and Battle of Kanauj will come. It's very, very important. UPSC at least 3 times it has asked. Okay, in the last 20 years you take the question paper, Battle of Chausa and Battle of Kanauj will be there. Okay, these are battles between Humayun and Sher Shah. Okay, so this is like a prelude. Whatever his campaign happened to Bengal is a prelude to the disaster which is going to come. Now Sher Khan had left Bengal and was in South Bihar. Okay, he left Humayun, advanced into Bengal without opposition so that he might disrupt Humayun's communications and bottle him up in Bengal. Okay, so Sher Shah was initially allowing him to enter. Okay, because once he entered to his territory where Sher Khan has much more stronger hold, he could easily capture or easily defeat Humayun. So initially he was allowing this Humayun to enter, okay, into his territories. Arriving at Gaur, Humayun quickly took steps to establish law and order, but this did not solve any of his problems. His situation was made worse by the attempt of his younger brother. Okay, I think younger brother only. Younger brother, some other person. Okay, Hindal or something. No need to remember the names. Again, internal conflict. Okay, last time also when Humayun was about to gain something, his brother came and destroyed. So each time this internal problems used to be there. So he wanted to himself become the king. Okay, at Agra. So due to this and Sher Khan's activities, Humayun was totally cut off from all the news and supplies from Agra. Okay, so because his brother itself is not helping him or communicating anything to him. So from Delhi. So that is how Humayun had problems on both sides, Sher Khan on the east and his own family in the west. After a stay of 3 to 4 months at Gaur, Humayun started back for Agra, leaving a small garrison behind him. So he left some small group there and he left back. Despite the rumblings of discontent in the nobility, the rainy season and the constant harrying attacks of the Afghans, Humayun managed to get his army back to Chausa near Buxar. Okay, Buxar, you know, 1764 Buxar battle which we discussed in Spectrum. Okay, so before this place, Chausa is actually near Buxar only. So that is why Battle of Chausa is also an important place, an important location you should know on the map. Okay, history option students should know it is near Buxar. Okay, Bihar, without any serious loss. This was a big achievement for Humayun for which Humayun deserves credit. Okay. Meanwhile, Kamran had advanced from Lahore to quell Hindal's rebellion at Agra. So you know, Kamran is one brother who was there in the west, okay, Lahore, Pakistan region, and Hindal is there in Agra. So now they both are fighting. Okay. Though not disloyal, Kamran made no attempt to send reinforcement to Humayun. So this is again what to say, a brother versus brother, three brothers having different ideologies. Okay, so one is in the west, one is in Agra, and Humayun is fighting in the east. But these people are not helping each other. Okay, Kamran is fighting with Hindal, and Kamran is not supplying anything to Humayun also. Okay, even though it's like not disloyal or something, but he is not taking any steps also to help him. Okay, not doing anything against him, but not doing anything to support him also. So that is how these three brothers fighters will destroy all the things, and Sher Shah will win. Okay, so these might well have swung the military balance in favor of the Mughals. Okay, if he had helped, it would have helped the whole battle turn towards Mughal side, but these brothers did not help each other. Okay, so despite these setbacks, Humayun was still confident of success against Sher Khan. He forgot that he was facing an Afghan army which was very different from the one a year before. Okay, so he did not realize that Sher Khan has now gained that much power in 1 year. Okay, that 35 to 37 time. Okay, which we saw 1535 to 1537. It had gained battle experience and confidence under the leadership of the most skillful general the Afghan ever produced. Okay, misled by an offer of a peace from Sher Khan, Humayun crossed to the eastern bank of the Kamnasa river. Okay, some river is there, Kamnasa river. You should just know something is there, and whenever in future you hear this term, at least you should know it is somewhere mentioned in the 15th, 16th century during the Sher Khan story. Okay, that itself is enough for you to crack any statement which UPSC will put to trick you. Okay, so this is something which is there. Okay, that area, eastern side, giving full scope to the Afghan horsemen encamped there. Humayun showed not only bad political sense but bad generalship as well. He chose his ground badly and allowed himself to be taken unaware. So Humayun earlier and all, he was like being praised, right? In the previous paragraph against Bahadur Shah and all, his military skills, his generalship, everything was being praised. But here if you see, against eastern side Afghans, it is telling like he did not do it well. He did not, the political sense, generalship, everything was bad. So you should know the variation in Humayun's approach to both the sides. Humayun barely escaped with his life from the battlefield, swimming across the river with the help of a water carrier. Immense booty fell in the Sher Khan's hand. About 7,000 Mughal soldiers and many prominent nobles were killed. So overall, a loss for Humayun. Okay, so you should know defeat at Chausa. Chausa battle is a battle where Humayun was defeated for the first time by Sher Shah. Okay, it is also a statement, UPSC statement in 1539. So for chronology question, you should know this. Only the fullest unity among the Timurid princes and the nobles could have saved. That's what I told. The Timurid princes means the Mughal princes. If they had helped each other, then this battle could have been won. But now ultimately Sher Shah won the battle of Chausa. Kamran had a battle-hardened force of 10,000 Mughals under his command at Agra, but he was not prepared to loan them to Humayun as he had lost confidence in Humayun's leadership. So again telling the same thing, Kamran did not help him with the Mughal army people which he had. 10,000 people was there but was not supplied. On the other hand, Humayun was not prepared to entrust the command of the armies to Kamran, lest the latter use it to assume power himself. Okay, so each one want to become ruler himself. The suspicions between the brothers grew till Kamran decided to return to Lahore with the bulk of his army. The army had hastily assembled by Humayun at Agra was no match against Sher Khan. So next battle, Battle of Kanauj. So Battle of Chausa, Battle of Kanauj. Okay, the Battle of Khanwa is different. Okay, that is I think between Babar and Rana Sanga, which I discussed in the last chapter. So these similar kind of names is what UPSC will catch. Okay, they will purposely put like, okay, Battle of Kanauj is between Babar and Rana Sanga, and because you did not read it properly, you will think like, okay, yeah, somewhere in Satish Chandra textbook I read something like this, so it will be true. So that is how UPSC will trick you. They will pick very nearby statements and then confuse you. So you should know clearly who fought which battle. Okay, so Battle of Chausa and Battle of Kanauj, 1539 and 1540, between Humayun and Sher Khan. Okay, was bitterly contested. Both the younger brothers of Humayun, Aksari and Hindal fought valiantly, but to no avail. Okay, so again it's a defeat. The Battle of Kanauj decided the issue between Sher Khan and the Mughals. Humayun now became a prince without a kingdom. Kabul and Kandahar remaining under Kamran. He wandered about in Sindh and its neighboring countries for the next 2.5 years. Okay, so now it's like Humayun is displaced. Okay, Humayun is displaced and these other brothers are also not very strong. All these brothers were defeated. So now Sher Khan is now becoming the greatest emperor of North India. Okay, Kamran was restricted to the Afghan region. Okay, so 2.5 years Humayun was roaming around in the Pakistan region, Sindh region. Then here, okay, neither the rulers of Sindh nor Maldio, the powerful ruler of Marwar, was prepared to help him in his enterprise. Worse, his own brothers turned against him. So nobody is helping him. The western side people are not helping him, his brothers are not helping him, and even tried to kill him or imprison him. Okay, so Humayun faced all these trials and tribulations with fortitude and courage. It was during this period that Humayun's character showed itself at its best. Okay, so even after this many setbacks, Humayun did not he was not captured by anyone also, he was not killed by anyone, but he kept escaping, and he was just looking for an opportunity to come back, and that is when he took shelter at the court of the Iranian king. Okay, you should know Safavid dynasty it is. Okay, it is very important. Safavid dynasty, Iran region, that time Persia region. He went and took shelter there. Okay. And then later he recaptured Kandahar and Kabul in 1545. Okay, so 1530s or something is the time when he started his kingship or something, and then he had problems in 1539 and 1540, and in 1545 and all, when Sher Shah is ruling Delhi or the northern region in east and all, he actually is coming back and trying to slowly capture regions. Okay, in 1545. It is clear that the major cause of Humayun's failure against Sher Khan was his inability to understand the nature of the Afghan power. Okay, due to the existence of large number of Afghan tribes scattered over North India, the Afghans could always reunite under the capable leader and pose a challenge. Okay, so like that western side, there was a chance that they could re-emerge. So again, locals, I mean, that's not important. So only thing that I know, it's numerically inferior. Okay. In the beginning, Humayun was on the whole loyally served by his brothers. Real differences among them arose only after Sher Khan's victories. Some historians have unduly exaggerated the early defense of Humayun with his brothers. Okay, so in history textbooks and all, they can mention, like, they are mentioning a lot of things like his brothers were continuously having conflict with each other. But actually here, what Satish Chandra is mentioning is that up till Sher Khan's victory, they were like not having any problems. They were like in different regions, in different provinces, they were ruling. Okay, but after Sher Khan defeated Humayun, these brothers thought like, okay, now we can also take over and then we can rule Delhi. Okay. Though not as vigorous as Babur, Humayun showed himself to be a competent general and politician till his ill-conceived Bengal campaign. Okay, so till that Bengal campaign, he was considered as a good ruler only. In both the battles with Sher Khan, the latter showed himself as superior general. So Sher Khan won both the battles. Okay, that you should know. Now Humayun's life was a romantic one. He went from riches to rags and again from rags to riches. Okay, so it's like a you can tell, not like an inspirational thing or something, but at least one person who has like lost everything, but he will come back strongly again and take, and that's how the Mughal empire itself, if you know, there is a huge gap. Okay, 15 years gap is there in which Sher Shah will rule. Okay, but that time Humayun did not give up, and he will come back strongly, and the next ruler Akbar will take it to the biggest glory, which we will learn later. Okay, so that is how Mughal empire became the greatest of the greatest kingdom, okay, in India. So that is about that. And 1555, following the breakup of the Sur Empire, he was able to recover Delhi. So that's a different story which we will discuss in next chapter. Okay, I mean next video, where Sher Khan will come, his son, I think Ismail Shah or someone will come, and then he also will defeat, and he will also die, and after that all the rulers were weak. That is how the Sur Empire will disintegrate, and that is the gap when Humayun will come back strongly and he will take up the Mughal rule again in Delhi. Okay, so that's a different story. We will discuss that later. Okay, but one problem was he did not live long to enjoy the fruits of his victory. 1555 he came back. Okay, that is what I told. 1540 to 1555, 15 years it was Shah Suri's kingdom. But after that he came back, but immediately he died. Okay, he died from a fall from his first floor of the library, something. Okay, some building construction was going on, and in his library first floor he fell and he died. So that is how, like, that's also one statement actually, like they will ask like Humayun died in a battle in this thing, or Humayun died in something like that. Okay, anything like in a game of polo. That is the one statement which I saw somewhere. So because it was, I think, some other king which died in like that. So they will take some other's death and then link it with Humayun and make a statement. So you should know these kind of simple things. Okay, then this about his tomb. Okay, it's actually I think by his wife or sister, someone actually dedicates this thing to him. Okay, his wife. Okay, favorite wife built a magnificent near the photo. This is actually okay, Humayun's tomb, Delhi. This actually is there in the UNESCO sites also. Okay, so you should know this, and it is made of marble. Okay, so these kind of things which is mentioned in this textbook is what UPSC will pick up. They will not take any exaggerated statement, because if they put 3 statements also, they purposely make the easiest statements as false, so that they know like, okay, this student has read at least this particular textbook. Okay, so that way, that one statement if you eliminate, then you can actually get to the answer itself. So whatever is there in this textbook, please make a note. Okay. Next is actually Sher Shah. I will continue in the next video, okay, because I don't want to make lengthy video, because again this Sher Shah will be again 6 or 7 pages, and again his full story is there, and the end of this chapter will be a great this thing about Sher Shah's political, social, economic and all, because he was a great person who had socio-economic reforms and all, which later Akbar also will take up. Okay, so that's very important, and that we will do the next chapter because it's important. Okay, we don't want to mix it and make this video lengthy. Okay, so meanwhile I think I'll show you MCQs. Okay, one second. Humayun, yeah. So which are the following Mughal rulers wrote their own biographies? Okay, so this is not mentioned in this textbook, or this is not like from one place you will get it. It's like, you know, you need to know all these things, and only then you can able to write this. So you have to tell like who wrote their own biography, because some of the people they will be not writing it themselves, some other historian will write for them. So you have to tell me whether 1, 2, 3, 4 everything is there or anything is not there. So try to find it out. You can Google it and find it out, or if you have learned history from other sources, you will be able to answer it. Okay, that is one question. Next one. 4 statements about Humayun. Okay, Humayun lost both battles with Sher Shah. He died during a polo game. He wandered from place to place after losing to Sher Shah. He fled to his Persian friend at Safavid dynasty. So these are statements about him picked up from various places of this chapter itself. So try to tell whether all these things are true or any small mistake is there in any of the statement. Okay, so that is how this chapter, this video will be ending. So any queries or any suggestions, please tell in comment section so that we can proceed with this. Okay, because it's a whole new textbook which I have to cover in the next few days. So I need your suggestions as well. If it's not interactive and it's like simply for just 50 people or 100 people, then it's not worth the effort. Okay, we have we have other things also to proceed with. So please tell your suggestions. I'll come up with the next video soon. So thank you and have a nice day.